Am I the asshole for asking my brother to pay $30,000 for my engagement ring? I hosted a family dinner over the weekend. My brother brought my nephews, 4 and 8, over as well. I used to wear my engagement ring all the time, but lately I keep it in my walk-in closet and mainly wear it for special occasions. While I was cleaning up the dinner table, my nephews went to play while the adults were still in the outdoor patio, outdoor kitchen area. My brother was not supervising his kids. During this time, my nephews went into the master bedroom without anyone knowing and started playing with everything, including my engagement ring. When we came to look for them, they panicked because they know they aren't supposed to be upstairs, ran into the master bathroom, and flushed my ring. I would be livid.
Oh my God.
We called a plumber in case it was somehow in the trap of the toilet and not actually gone. But nope, unfortunately, it was gone for good. We still had the original receipt, so I called my brother. I emailed him a scanned copy as proof of the cost and asked him to reimburse me for the ring my nephew flushed. Immediately, he started calling me an asshole because we were family and he was just a child. He has refused to repay the cost of my ring. I told him I will be taking him to court for this, and now my entire family is blowing up my phone, saying families shouldn't sue each other and just let it go. There are a few edits, but that was the original post. Do we want to give our first thoughts?
Wow. Okay, I don't know. I think that they're both kind of in the wrong here. I don't know.
Okay. Why do you think the OP is in the wrong?
It just $30,000. That's a lot of money. And I don't really know like ballparks for engagement ring prices, but
I think that's well beyond the average.
I was going to say, I think that that is like extremely higher range than most people's engagement rings.
Yeah.
So like the fact that like it's just a, it's like a not average ring. So then it's like not an average situation. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If it was like a $5,000 ring, then I think that's a lot more reasonable to ask for reimbursement. But $30,000, like that's like college tuition, like a new car. I don't know.
I feel though like you could make the opposite argument and be like, if it was only $5,000, sure, don't sue your family over a smaller amount of money. $5,000 is still a lot, but obviously compared to $30,000, it's not. But I could almost see the opposite argument of like, don't make a big fuss over this relatively small amount of money, but because it's worth so much, who knows how long her husband saved up for it? Like maybe, I don't know, maybe she really, really values engagement rings and that was the one thing they like spent all this money on and everything else is kind of like not as important to them. I mean, this is, I guess, irrelevant at this point, but I think it's stupid to have an item that's worth that much and not have insurance on it.
I was just gonna say like, do they not have insurance on it?
I feel like they should, before she is telling her brother just repay me out of your own pocket and before she takes him to court, I feel like they should all look into their insurance policies, their homeowners insurance, and then see if they could potentially get any of it covered, and maybe then the brother pays the premium or the deductible or whatever. I feel like maybe that's step one. But at the same time, I'm really trying to put myself in these shoes. I guess it also depends on your financial situation, because if I just had like millions of dollars and this was just one little thing, I'd be pissed off for sure. But would I sever a relationship with my brother over it? Hopefully not. But $30,000 is so much money. And an engagement ring is sentimental on top of just the monetary value of the ring. I think the brother should pay it. I think, or at least he should try to use his insurance or something. I don't know.
I know. That's hard.
Like, you take responsibility for your kids and shit happens and you need to, like, if the kids went into a store and stole a ring and then, I don't know, lost it and they could never return it, they would face consequences. He would either have to pay fines or someone would like go to jail or something, depending on how old the kids were. So just because they were in a home and it was his sister, they should just face no consequences and the OP should just be out 30 grand. Like, there should be consequences. This is so hard.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to like form judgments, but if you can spend $30,000 on a ring, like you have to be well off.
Right.
Unless you just like really, really value an engagement ring over like any other cost of life. I don't know. I would assume that they have to be well off. Maybe they were at one point. They might not be still. I don't know. But like, that's a lot of money for a ring. So, but yeah, I would be very upset about it, knowing the value of it. But also for my brother to pay that back, I don't know. I'm talking in circles. This is
I know.
Just like,
it's so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like the easy answer is, yeah, it was his kids, his responsibility. He needs to pay for it.
Right.
But family relationships are so complicated. Like, is the value of a ring, a piece of jewelry that you barely wear, is that worth severing a relationship with your brother and his kids? Like, I don't know. I guess to some people it is.
Right.
But maybe that's a privileged way of thinking. Like, if you had enough money to just replace the ring, it wouldn't be worth it.
And also, maybe she doesn't feel guilty asking for someone else to replace it because in her eyes, it's easy to replace it.
And also, I feel like if I was in the really privileged financial situation and my brother wasn't, I would take that into account when, like, if you look at it in black and white, you shouldn't. Like, in black and white, the brother should pay back what the kid lost. But then if the brother is already struggling, is the sister really going to be like, I need compensation for my engagement ring that I never wear when you're struggling to, like, live a normal life? But if the brother is over here balling and he can afford it, then I feel like that's an easier situation.
Yeah.
And he should give it. I feel like there's so many factors that in black and white wouldn't matter, but in this situation, they kind of do matter. Or I would take them into consideration if it was me.
I would, if there was no insurance on it, I would maybe, like, try and split the costs just to come to, like, a compromise.
Would you split the cost, though, if your brother was, like, a millionaire? Like, if it would be an easy sum for him to just cut you a check and pay you and he wouldn't even notice it was gone. Yeah, so I feel like this is so hard.
I don't know. My other thing I was going to say is if like, the brother is struggling financially, or even like you are, you know, like, or it's hard for either of you to pay the $30,000 and get the ring back, I would still want a replacement ring, but I might settle for a different ring, maybe not of the same value, because then I would still have an engagement ring that is still, like, that special item to me, but maybe it didn't cost as much as the original, but then I would still have my, like, a ring. Like, I don't know.
I feel like it's also hard because you could be like, well, it's the brother's fault because he wasn't supervising his kids.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're 1 and 2. They're 4 years old and 8 years old.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah, like, you're not expecting, maybe a 4-year-old because they don't really understand the concept of something that's really valuable. But an 8-year-old, like, kids are very smart. So you're not just expecting your 8-year-old to go into your sister's closet, go into a jewelry box, take out an engagement ring, get scared when they hear you coming, run into the bathroom and flush it down the toilet. Like, you're just not expecting that. So I do cut the dad some slack there, but it's still his fault.
I am so curious about why they thought to flush it and not just like drop it on the floor or like put it back.
They just probably were like, oh, they should never know that we took it. Like, they won't even realize it's gone because they don't know that this ring costs $30,000 and it's an engagement ring.
What a weird instinct.
True. There's a few edits.
Okay.
No, the ring was not insured. I found out the day after my nephew flushed it. Awesome. That's a great time to figure out that you don't have insurance. My husband says he forgot and in the end never actually insured it. Well, this is a lesson to everyone. Yeah. If you have a very expensive item, get an insurance
something
policy.
So small.
Yes.
That you use daily, or typically you wear it daily, you use your hands daily.
Yeah.
And it's so small.
Totally. That's mind-blowing that someone that spent that much money on an engagement ring just forgot to get insurance. I mean, obviously it happens in life, but if I was given that ring, I'd be like, let me see the policy.
Yes.
Like, right now. My brother says he does not have the money to repay even $100 a month and has refused any kind of repayment plan. That's kind of I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm being too judgmental, but $100 a month, I feel like unless he's really struggling.
Yeah.
But if he's like middle class or upper middle class, anywhere in there, I feel like you got to take responsibility for your kids' actions. He said, I live in a nice enough house, and if I want a replacement, I should just sell my car.
See, that's what I said. It's literally the cost of a car.
Yeah, literally. The brother is telling his sister, if you want a new ring, it sucks that my kid flushed your ring down the toilet and you should just sell your car.
So now you'll be out your engagement ring and your car.
Yeah.
Because of his stupid kid.
Yeah, not the brother like victim blaming and being like, well, if you want a replacement, you should just sell your car. What? What kind of... Okay, now I'm team OP. The brother's an idiot. My brother to this day has not truly apologized. It was a Canadian... I thought it said it was a Canadian story. It was a Canadian sorry. Sorry, not sorry? A Canadian sorry?
I don't know.
I've never heard that term. Okay. No offense to anyone in Canada. I feel like that's like an offensive term. Like Canadian sorry. Does that mean when people apologize but they don't mean it?
Or like they just avoid it?
Are we just like making Canadians seem like they're not genuine? Weird. Okay. Anyway, he said kids will do what is normal for kids and they shouldn't be held responsible for a ring. Well, the kids aren't. The dad is.
Yeah.
They were supposed to supervise their kids outdoors with the rest of the family while I was busy cleaning up. Oh, this is getting worse and worse for the dad. I don't believe for a second that my brother and his wife cannot pay for the cost of my engagement ring. They don't make anything near my husband, but they have a combined income of around $250,000. Come on. You can pay $100 a month if you're making $250K. They don't pay rent or anything because my parents gifted them their old house valued at $3.5 million in Toronto, Canada.
Stop.
Back when I bought my parents a new house years ago. Oh, the brother is so wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong. There is no mortgage on the home my brother lives in. The only things my brother and his wife would have to pay for is the cost of raising their children, normal bills, and food. I feel so distraught because my ring holds great sentimental value. I've already been speaking with my husband's family lawyer, but at this point, I'm ready to hire a PI to find out if they really don't have the money. Oh, court. I think court is the answer.
Yeah. So not to just like totally like make these assumptions, but it sounds like this guy, this brother, has not really had to deal with that many issues in life. If he was like given his house, like doesn't have
$3.5 million house for free.
Yeah. So now that he stumbles upon this like true issue, he's like running away from it. And he's like, no, it's not real. It's not legitimate. It's not my fault. Like, come on, buddy. Take some responsibility. After some.
After the evidence that is presented, I would take him to court too. That's crazy. Wow. Top comment, not the asshole, his circus, his monkeys. He wasn't watching them. That's on him. The majority vote was not the asshole. I say not the asshole, the brother's the asshole. Wow, that one was very interesting.
Yeah.
And obviously it's easy for me to say the brother should just pay it because if it was my kids, I wouldn't want to pay it either.
Oh, right.
But you have to take responsibility for your children.
Yeah.